Then decode number 11. Surplus qualified graduates leads to rat race within the field. On my previous decode number 9, we've talked about you're not competitive, you feel like a toy soldier. It's a bit about talking about how you're not fit in today, competitive or up to standards on the jobs it is, and how the people that I've interacted who actually fall in that categories down to their knees based on the clients that I deal with. Now let's talk about this decode number 11. So it's great for me to, I know when I make this sort of videos, I know I'm only putting my personal opinion about everything, but also I like to talk grabbing different else opinion in regards to difficulty of getting a job. And I love to engage with high IQs to communicate or for these social problems. So I'm drinking water now. And he said, I said to him, the only way to get a job in today's world if you do a STEM degree. And he's like, no. There's too many university. There's a high percentage of universities, students who go to university, attend university. Now, on the first year, if it's 100% all the students going, whoever end up passing the course, I don't know the number. I'll probably say 30% or 40%, or maybe less. Maybe I'll go really less when they finish their degree. But even the 30 and 40%, whether they have placement or any experience at all, they're entering the field that they're in. And it turns to a rat race because it's actually, you're dumbing down the field and the industry because there's too many graduates. And when there's too many graduates, now it's up to employers. What they got to do is say, they lick on their fingers and say, you know what, can be a rat race. They can choose anyone they want who's willing to work for the standards and everything what they have. And the prices, the quality of work. Now, obviously, I can't speak about my dentist friend because he's been in the industry for more than, straight out of graduates, but, it's a shortage area. But let's talk about those who are, maybe accountant, nothing related to health. Because I think health is always be there. And dentists, when we eat too much candies or soft drinks and everything like that, there's always a shortage in dentistry. Let's talk about accountant, or perhaps we'll talk about more the business courses and things like that. From what I see from a lot of international students, or mainly do that sort of degrees, or marketing. Those are top of my head. I'm pretty sure you kind of understand what I'm trying to say here. But you have that many degrees. Those degrees, or there's going to be a lot of them. When they do come out, and the moment they go through job search on the website, and when they type it in, and the total of the job results, now every single uni graduate, experienced worker will fight for the role. And it's literally what's surplus qualified graduates it leads to dumbing down the degree because it's not rare anymore. Everyone's doing it. It's so common to the point that everyone has to lead to the rat race. Now, many of those, I know many of those who study a degree doesn't end up within the industry. But you do have to understand, those who wants to get into the industry or be part of the industry will find it hopeless because the society or the parents will say, you do this degree, you're set for life. Your quality, your standards of living is really high, really good. But towards the end, when they do get to a degree, some of them may get the job, may not get the job. But those who doesn't get the job within the industry, within 2 years, the degree is pretty much outdated. You have to, and that's the problem. For those who doesn't have any experience behind. But those who has experience, that's a different story. So you got that many universities, that many students, let's just say 30-40% each of them who pass that degree, or less than that. Where back in the days, university were only those who have privilege. Only 2% of the population who enter university. Those who has a privileged IQ or coming from a wealthy background. But nowadays, anyone can get into university. Pretty much nearly everyone, once they graduate from high school. Whether they go through a trade school path or whether they go through, straight out of high school, they still can go. So that's what I'm trying to say. Make sure that you go to the industry. Make sure it is like, I can't get any good advice for anyone. But what I can say is, I think the best way to look at the job industry, is it on increase or it declined? For certain industry, there's a certain pattern. If it increase, what's the percentage? If it decrease, what's the percentage? And what I'm putting up to you guys on the screen is pretty much just going through all the industries. And this is based on Australia because I'm from Australia. And you look at the interest, you look at the job, how many percent, like how many those who get employed within the industry, and as well those who does not. And it's very important to look at this because that's another area that you need to look into. And if you don't look into it very well, then my friend, I don't know where you're heading to yourself into, even though you're passionate about the job. Because everyone's just going for the rat race, everyone's just dumping down the degree. But it's great to understand how many of those who actually get the jobs out of it. And I'm not discouraging anyone. I'm just saying, that is the best bet. Second of all, you got to find out what is the causes that there's job shortage or within the industry. Why is it increase or things like that? For example, I only can speak on my industry. Like for example, mental health or social work. There's a lot of burnout rate. There's a lot of burnout rate, and people pretty much would change their career because it's a very, very social problem. It's never be a positive thing. It's always been negative. Maybe it does impact their lifestyle. Maybe it's just simply just make them feel that way and never see any positive outcome in life. And those are the clips that I show you, every single industry, profession. And I wish you can have this book in your area to go through it and things like that. And also need to find out the state that you're in. And what are the percentage of job has been within your state. So which I'm showing you up the screen right now, and I'm only saying this. This is based on Australia. and you could tell the employed number and the project growth percentage and the industry. And if you look into it, that's where I'll pretty much will guide anyone if they want to get into a job industry, if they're finding a right way. And also go through this, like in a job website, and go through the research. Use all the keywords that you think that you're eligible to apply for once you finish this degree, and look for it and see is it worth it or not. I think those are the areas to go. But like I said, Cert Plus qualified graduate leads to a rat race within the field. You always keep that in mind. So yeah.